This is Temperance, this is Mija, and I'm Paul. Girl here, she loves to go for a ride. Don't bring it on the sunshine. Don't blame it on the moonlight. Don't on the good time. Blame it on the boogie. Don't blame it on the sunshine. Don't blame it on the moonlight. On the good time. Blame it on the boogie. Woo!
Hello everybody, welcome to the School of Rockstars, and this is another episode of Becoming Rockstar with Archie. I'm super excited to introduce you new guest on my show, Paul Cross. He's a dog lover. He loves being with dogs, and he has gone through so much of pain, and doctors recognized that he had problem with bone marrow, and also he had problem with his heart. So I would like to know more about his story, passion. He also wrote one children's book called Wiener Dog, How Did You Get So Long? And I want to know his book journey and also his story of life more. So thank you, Cynthia. Thank you. He's in the house. And thank you, Tracy. Thank you so much. Paul. Yes.
Hi. All right.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I
All
can
right.
hear you.
Awesome. How are you doing today?
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, I'm doing great.
It's a beautiful day here so far. Beautiful fall day.
Awesome. Like, can you show us your dogs?
Oh yeah. Temperance.
Yeah.
Temperance, come. Temperance, come. Come here. She's taking a nap. Here she comes. Come on, Temperance.
Yeah.
Tippy tip.
We love her hairstyle.
Oh, yeah. That's Penny Lane. This is Temperance.
Awesome.
Temperance
You have
is
two dogs or one dog? Two
three.
dogs, right?
Three.
Okay.
Penny Lane is right here. She was also taking a nap. See?
Okay.
Can you see her?
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah, she's taking a nap.
Temperance. What are the names? Like
Penny Lane, Temperance, and Mija.
Mija. Awesome. Like, why did you name your Instagram as a Skyler and Friends?
Well, Skyler is the child in the book, the main character. So
Okay.
is Skyler and Friends, Penny Lane, Temperance, Mija, anyone that kind of joins in with the same message, can be like part of the Friends. So it's like Skyler, the main character, and Friends.
Okay, so you are the main character. You are the Skyler.
No, my name is Paul. So
Yeah, I know. Like, I guess.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying, but yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So, like, I want to know, like, you have pretty inspiring story. I know, like, I have gone through your website and your videos, and yeah, can you please share us your story and how you got into what are you doing now currently? Like, how you got?
Well, I guess it depends on how far you want to go back. If you go back to when I first got sick, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, so back in 2009, it was like May, and I started getting real sick to my stomach a lot, and I just kept getting more and more sick, and I got to the point where like I was going to the bathroom a lot and I couldn't really like eat anything. I was just like, oh, got sick. So I didn't have any health insurance at that time, and just started going to the doctors. I was trying to figure out what was the cause of it. And long story, I guess, as short, so to speak, within like 6.5, almost 7 months, I went from 175 pounds to 89 pounds. And I could hardly walk because I had like no energy, it was just like a skeleton. And I was in the ER a lot, and with the pre-existing conditions at that time, you couldn't get on health insurance. So I was just in the ER a lot, and finally, like about 2.5 years, like it took me to get on some insurance and got more care and stuff. But with all that going back and forth to the doctors and the hospitals and everything, I went down to UC, to the Barrett Center, and different cardiologists and different hematologists and all those ologists. And
Yes.
we ended up finding out that I had a bone marrow disease called hypocellular neodyplastic syndrome, which is basically where your blood, bone marrow is not producing enough platelets and everything, or white blood cells. So I could get sick real easily, and my body wasn't making enough platelets to clot. So if I cut myself, I'd just keep bleeding, and So I ended up having to get like the blood transfusion, so I could get more platelets. So then I could get the surgery for my pacemaker, which I got at age 25 because I was just like passing out randomly. So through all this, like they didn't know what was going on exactly, but the best theory is that the bone marrow disease was brought in by the heart failing because of the nutrition. So it's kind of like a domino effect where my heart started like stopping, and I wasn't getting like the proper oxygen, and like it was scaring me. Obviously it was very anxious producing, and without getting the oxygen like to my organs and stuff properly, like my digestive system started to struggle, and I started to eat less and less. Lost all this weight, and it affected everything. My bone marrow got affected and ended up getting bone marrow disease. But you can't prove which came first, the chicken or the egg, so to speak. But so yeah, I had to do the TPN feeding with like the IV feeds through the PICC line in the arm, and had some complications with that stuff, and the bone marrow aspirations and everything. So I've been through a lot of different health issues going through all that, and a lot of anxiety from that. And I just, on the end of it, I guess I'm coming out now, I'm like 140 pounds. So like, I'm not like where I was before, but like I'm not 89 pounds anymore, so that's awesome. And I have limitations now that I couldn't do before and everything. But overall, what I've really learned is that, you got to be yourself and just love others without expecting anything in return. And you're going to be happy, because you're not having that feeling of expectation. So I just want to share that with the world, like where it's like people, be yourself, whatever you want to do. Don't worry about what other people think. Just be you, and be you and love fearlessly. Like I didn't mean to segue my thing there, but it's just so true. Like just do your thing. As long as you're not hurting someone else, do you, and find your passion, find your love, and just go for it, because you never know. Life is so fragile, and you never know. You never really realize it until you lose someone really close to you, or until you yourself get so close to dying. How like fragile it is, and how little we are on the great scale of things. So I guess that's like a brief description there.
Yes, like in that situation when you're in hospital, like who helped you in that period of time? Like who are with you?
My mom is like my biggest support system, I would say. My sister was there for me, and my brothers and stuff at the time. So that, I think that's a really important thing, is to have support system, whether it's whether it's your family, or whether it's like blood family friends, or non-blood family, your friends. Yeah, like, your close people. You have to have people to talk to. And if you're not yourself, then you're not going to feel like you can open up to them people because you'll be like, they're going to judge me, you know, like if I'm talking about this real situation. So you got to have real friends, real family that love you for you, you know. So in those hard times, you have someone to go to.
Awesome. And like, yeah, in that critical period, like, how did you manage your finances? Like, you have like gone through many hospital testings and all, right? It cost you so much. So how did you manage? Yeah.
I got a lot of hospital bills and debt. So like that, I'm still in debt with hospital bills. After I got on to help with, you know, like I got insurance and everything finally. After it was like 2 or 2.5 years. I honestly couldn't remember the exact without going through my, you know, piles of medical bills. But those, it was around 2.5 years ago. But I got, oh man, I don't even know how much it is, but it's a lot of debt. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But anyways, after I got onto it, the insurance, and they started paying for everything 6 months prior and forward. They didn't pay for everything 6 months prior, but they were supposed to. But that's neither here nor there. But anyways, I guess the point is I had a lot of debt, and that in order to survive, like in order to eat and everything, I had to sell a lot of stuff that I had in order to do that. And then of course, you know, like my mother, shout out to her. She helped me a lot, and also Susan's Natural World on Beachmont. They helped me a lot with like supplements and like helping me to learn more about the nutritional side of everything and holistic stuff, and really helped me like that way and everything too. And they were awesome. So at one time they even brought me groceries like to my house, like, and they don't even deliver. They just like knew about my story and like knew about me. You know, I was always coming in there trying to figure out what was going on because didn't have insurance, couldn't get help, you know, whatever. And so.
Awesome. And do you still paying those bills, or you finished?
No, I still have those bills. Unfortunately, the medical, it's one of those things that is expensive. Pacemakers aren't cheap.
Yes, like Tracy's asking you a question, like how long will your pacemaker last before it needs to be changed?
8 to 10 years, depending on how much it's you're using it. So, like, because it doesn't do it all the time, it just comes in when you need it. So it just depends. Last time I went, 2 weeks ago, I think, and had it checked, and the battery was doing good. They were saying I think I had 5 more years on it, which is awesome, because it was 2011, February of 2011 when I got it. So it's surpassing as a battery. So that's awesome. I was like, do you guys have wireless charging yet? You know, it's like, she's like, no. I was like, they should. My phone does wireless charging. Why can't my pacemaker?
Awesome. And how much time you took to recover from that? So.
Oh, a long time. I mean, basically, I'm not like 100% from what I was, but like from 2009 getting sick until 2011, when I was really at my worst in 2011 to, I would say 2014, I was really struggling. Like I almost died several times in that period. So between 09 and 14, I was really bad off.
Okay. And like you have so many dreams in your mind, like when you are in that condition, like what is your thoughts, or like what are the thoughts running in your mind?
So many thoughts. I mean, like, because you think you're going to die, you know, and then you get to a point where, like, well, if I'm going to die, just get it over with. Like, you know, I'm done and suffering. Like, you know, you think of, like, oh, you know, like, no, I got to get over this, you know, like, this isn't, like, is this really happening to me? Like, this is crazy. Like, this happens to other people. This isn't, you know, like, it just, and the more things you lose as it falls down, the more you realize, oh, wow, this is so real. Because I mean, like at the time I was married and then got divorced through that whole thing, and just like then lost my dog at that time, you know, because of that, and my truck and my tools, and then like I had to start selling stuff to eat, and just like slowly till I was living on a futon in my sister's apartment. So
Awesome. Like, yeah.
it's just like, I don't know, so many things run through your head, but at a certain point, you have to decide, like, okay, you're going to get over this or you're just going to give up, you know, and I found my strength to, you know, just, it's like, when I didn't want to die, I was like, I don't know, it's hard.
Yeah, I wanna do. Yeah, you told yourself that I wanna do many things in this world. So,
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, I was like, I have so many ideas, so many things, and it gave me a purpose to tell other people, like, hey, you know, like, you never know when you're going to die. Like, you really don't. And I don't mean
yes,
to be, like,
exactly.
negative about it, but it's like, live each day like it's going to be your last, you know? You can plan as if
Yes,
you'll live forever. That's fine. You know, planning is fine. But live as if you're going to die tomorrow or today, whatever, because you never know. So,
awesome. And like when the passion towards like love towards dogs started for you, like
that would
it's
be, I mean, I've always
yeah,
loved dogs since I was little, but
okay.
when I really got, like, when I got sick real bad and everything, and it was like less and less I could go outside because, one, my energy levels, and two, when my white blood cells got so low, like I couldn't get out around a lot of people. So I ended up getting a dog, and then she was just like my shadow. You know, Penny Lane, the black one with the mohawk. She was just like my
Yes,
little shadow, and she just followed me around everywhere. Like, she has been with me for the last 6 years. And during, you know, a lot of that time where I was like, you know, hard times, you know, and my sister's dogs, like when I went to stay with her on the futon, like I was telling you about, she had 3 dogs. Like, she's a huge dog lover. And so it was just like part of my recovery, like during that whole time, was like around dogs, you know. And then once I got to where my white blood cells were good and stuff, I started volunteering at an animal shelter and everything, like just to be like more around the dogs, because just like that unconditional
yes,
love. You know, I had
yes,
been rejected by so many people in my past and hurt by so many people. Like, I don't know, like there's something that's like awesome about, you know, dogs just unconditionally love you, follow you around. Like, they're just like, you know, they're awesome, easygoing, you know, and they're innocent, like, as in, you know, they can't help themselves. You're helping them. It gives you a purpose, even when you're not feeling so useful, you know.
yes.
So I think it's a combination of those factors. And the wiener dogs, I've always loved them since I was little. Like, I remember I'd be like, dachshund, you know, or like a wiener dog or a sausage dog or whatever, you know. But when I got Penny Lane, like, it brought that back. Like, oh man, I remember I loved that when as a child, you know. Like, I'd kind of forgotten about that. And then when I got her and everything, it was just like click that back. And then I got Temperance and then Mija. But Temperance is right there on my arm. Yeah, can you see?
Awesome. Yes, yes, I can see.
Okay, so,
It's a permanent tattoo.
yeah, it's a pink, little dachshund tattoo.
Okay, awesome. And in one of your video, I saw that you have like so many allergies, so you know more about nutrition thing and
Yeah.
meditation. Yes, so
Yes, it's definitely helped a lot with learning about that stuff. Because if you don't have the means to get help, you have to learn the information so you can help yourself. So I definitely did a lot of reading during all that time, especially if you're at home. What else are you going to do? You know what I mean? Like, so I did a lot of
yes,
research, a lot of learning and everything about the nutrition, about how your body works, and just one thing I found the best thing actually for me anyways with acid reflux and with digestive disorders like that. I started making fermented sauerkraut or fermented
okay,
cabbage rather, and which is also known as cultured vegetables, you know, or kimchi is a version of that, but like it's got all those natural probiotics and everything in it. But I eat that every morning, a tablespoon of the fermented cabbage that I make, and it's helped my stomach immensely, and I don't even get acid reflux anymore, and I was getting it real bad. My wisdom tooth in the back got like cavity from the acid because it was coming up so much. So yeah, I love fermented cabbage. It's very pungent, very strong, but it's amazing to your digestive system, which is, the whole foundation of your immune system. So.
Yeah, can you eat all food, or do you have any restrictions in your food?
Oh, yeah, I've got a lot of restrictions. I not as many as I used to, because back when I was doing the TPN feeding, the IV feeds, like I couldn't eat anything, and like I slowly had to go from, I was on a liquid diet for a year, and just like slowly had to introduce stuff back into my diet, and through that, like I developed food sensitivities as well as like food allergies and different things. But no, I can't do milk, no like dairy kind of stuff, wheat, gluten. I have celiac disease, which I found that out in the 11th grade, which is another time in my life that I got sick and stuff, but not to this extreme, but it was still horrible. But because celiac is really painful when, at least for me, it's different for every person, but because you eat that wheat and gluten and your body just like attacks itself. Anywho, so I can't have that. I can't have oats, barley, eggs, coffee, chocolate, yeast. I know there's some other things in there. Basically, though, like the main things I eat are like things that I make from home. I like to make stuff from scratch, because even when you go out and buy stuff that's like pre-made and it says gluten-free, you look on the back and it'll say like may contain traces of gluten, because like it was made in the same factory. So you have to be careful with that, or it'll have eggs in it or have yeast in it or something else. So just because it's gluten-free doesn't mean I can eat it because of my other food allergies. So I find it better just like to make it from scratch. It ends up being cheaper, and it takes a little longer, but if you make more than what you need, you can freeze it or whatever.
Yes. And it lasts long, it lasts long for a few more days.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you also mentioned that meditation helped you. How it helped you, like a meditation?
Oh yeah, meditation and yoga just has helped me like tremendously during the time, especially because you get so anxious. I mean, when you feel so out of control about everything in your life, I mean, physically and financially, emotionally, you're just like feel like you're out of control completely. To be able to finally just breathe for 1 second is amazing. And I'm a very thinking person. My brain goes all the time. So many ideas. And being able to learn to just let that stuff go for a little bit, even if it's just 5 minutes a day, it really helps to stabilize the rest of your day, because you bring that level of anxiousness that you're always at during the day down. So if anything happens, it might go up here, but instead of being here and then it goes way up, you can manage it. So it helps me to just be able to quiet all those inner horrible thoughts, inner self horrible talk, and just find a little peace during the day. And with the yoga, it helps me just feel better, because I have a lot of body aches and everything, and because of the autoimmune disease that I have, and it helps because if you're stretching, it helps stretch out those ligaments, those tendons, those muscles in your arm, and it's going to help your lymphatic system drain better and all kinds of stuff. So I really find yoga and stretching are helpful. And actually last month, maybe a month and a half ago now, time flies, but we got an inversion table, and I love that. It's helped my back out a lot, because I have a lot of lower back issues from a previous injury, and that thing has been awesome. So I would highly recommend checking one of those things out, where you go upside down,
Okay. Yeah. And also reading, do you read books, right? Lot of books.
Yeah, when I was going through that sickness, I've been inside a lot. I read a whole lot. Now I more listen to stuff on YouTube, video stuff or podcasts, or I'll read articles. I like to read articles online and studies, scientific studies or whatever, things of that nature. I like to read, but I don't sit down and read books cover to cover anymore. It's more what do they call that, passive learning or something, the audio books and stuff. But I think that's really, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Do you have any recommendations, like a book recommendations that really helped you during that journey?
What was the name of it? There was a book I remember when I first started really wanting to get into meditation, going back probably 2010. It was mindfulness meditation. It was called something like that, like mindfulness or something. I'll have to look that up to get the exact thing, but it was obviously about mindfulness meditation. But I think it was just called like mindfulness or something. But I'll find it out and let you know. But it was really awesome. Other than that, like I'm horrible with names. Like I'll remember a face for life, but a person's name or like the title of a book, they always, it's one of those things. But more than anything, music helped me more than words. But I'm a really like musical person. Like, you know, I play a few instruments and stuff. So during that time, I listened to a lot of music, whether it be like meditation, like just beach sounds, or like piano music, kind of like jazz stuff, you know. And then when I was feeling anxious, you know, I'd listen to something that's gonna either make me happy feeling, like the Beatles, you know, like, or just something peaceful. But or I'd play, you know, I'd play the guitar or you know, the drums or whatever, and it's a way of getting out these emotions or feeling those emotions. So you're just not keeping them inside, because that's the worst thing for me. So more than words, the music, I felt and listened to more than anything else, I think, during that time.
And you are a very big fan of Evan Carmichael. So
yes.
How did you, so like, can you please tell more about that journey? Like how he helped you in your life?
Yeah, I've been, for the last, like, I don't know, say 4 years, I've had the idea for this book in my head. Like, and the title was like the first thing. It was just like, it sounded funny, and the idea, then I was like, well, my dog, you know, like, when I first got Temper, she was like super tiny, like not even half a pound, and real short, and she just kept getting longer and longer. Anyways, that was the idea for that, and I guess, where was I going with that? No. So anyways, I guess my point is I started getting into that about a year and a half ago, actually writing it down. I was like, you know, I'm going to do this, you know, kind of deal. And during that time, I started looking up on YouTube different, just kind of inspirational stuff, like, you know, staying motivated, and also learning from other people that's like maybe written a book or whatever, and came across his channel. It was just like, my dog is barking. It was just like instantly, like, though I gravitated to what he was doing and to his message. He didn't come off like arrogant, and he didn't come off like, oh, I know it all, you know. And on his channel, he had someone from every walk of life that would be on there. So I gravitated to that, and I just started watching it, and I mean, I've watched like everything for last year, you know, on there. So it just became more and more like ingrained in my daily routine. So like now when I get up every morning, you know, I'll watch the espresso thing, and, you know, then go about my day, because it's a great way to get, you know, a step in the right direction and to keep you motivated. I mean, my biggest I'd say problem with staying motivated is self-confidence, because like I'm always feeling like I'm not good enough, so to speak, or like feeling like, oh, you know, or like, what's the point?
I have the same problem.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? So that's my biggest thing is, so watching inspirational stuff can sometimes, like, it helps you get past that for just that little bit, and that little time you did it, you know? So, yeah, I just really gravitated to that, and I love all the diversity.
I have that fear. That's why I'm doing this.
That's awesome. That's why I started doing it. I didn't want to like do like the video stuff. Like on one hand, like it was just like I wanted to get over the fear of, you know, just ridicule and fear of just being judged, I guess, you know.
Awesome. And when it all started, like the thought of writing a book. So when it all started, and how much time you took to write the book?
Well, like to write it and illustrate it and everything, it was pretty much 1 year. Like
Okay.
once from time I sat down to write the manuscript of it, and then to end, it was a year. So I thought I did pretty good. It's a good time frame like for doing it. But I
Oh,
mean, yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of work, a lot of time, but it was a lot of fun too. During the process, I learned that my wireless mouse was being interrupted by my pacemaker, so I had to get a wired
okay.
mouse. I was like, that's
Okay.
crazy.
And like in the process of time, like 1 year, you lose motivation, right? So like how you motivate yourself, and how did you keep going?
Well, multiple things. I would say lately or back then is different things. You know what I mean? Like back then when it was really horrible, it was totally different than now. I mean, now, like, if I'm starting to feel like down or depressed or like whatever, I'll jump on and YouTube. I'll like see if there's a new espresso thing or a new video he's put out, like to get boosted. Or I'll turn on some disco music. Disco music, I
Okay.
don't know what it is, but it always like it gets you moving, or
And it
Michael
is,
Jackson.
yes.
Exactly. And then you smile, you laugh. And then like, get you over that depressed thing. Like, so depressed is usually dancing, music, or and then the motivational aspect. Like if I'm feeling like I just don't want to do it, I'll look like to Evan Carmichael's channel, like with inspirational kind of thing, or I'll get on Instagram or YouTube, like to see like some people like that I follow, to see like what they're doing today, like maybe like they can like get a little inspiration from them, like to be like, okay, I'll put this out, like, even though
But
it's not
yeah.
perfect or whatever. So I guess the support system, like of what other people are doing that aligns with my same values, and being like, okay, they're doing it, I'm doing it too, I'm not alone. Because sometimes you feel like you're alone, and then you're just like, what's the point?
Yes.
We all get the feeling like that, whether it comes off that way or not, or we want to admit it or not. We all get self-defeating thoughts. So might as well talk
And
about
like,
it.
yeah, why you wrote the book?
I
What is
wrote
it?
the book for multiple reasons. I guess the first is because I love my dogs, and I wanted to get the message out of just like just be yourself. I don't want people to judge each other, and especially kids. Like it's so sad when parents instill negative morals into their children, or like whether intentionally or unintentionally, with like racist things or bigotry things, or like sexism or whatever. Like it happens, like, and it's sad. And I just wanted to get the point across, like I want you to be yourself and just love others for who they are, and be cool to one another, because kids can be really cruel. We've all been a kid, so we all know it, and it's like, I don't know, I just wanted that message to get out there more, like, be yourself, let other people be themselves. And so I wrote the book, inspired by my dog Temperance, because like I said, she was like not even half a pound when I got her, and she just kept getting longer and longer and longer. So the idea, the thought process here is like each page, Skyler is thinking, why is Penny Lane getting so long? What's wrong with her? She's so much longer than all the other dogs. And he's like, so Skyler says, did you get stuck in a slide? Did you eat my slinky, and bouncing down the stairs and so forth? All these thoughts of how, she became so long. And in the end, the mom sits down and explains, no, it's dachshund. That's just how they grow. We're all unique and different in our own way. Just because someone's different, looks different, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with them. So I think that's, it's a good lesson for all of us to learn, but, especially children, I think,
Children,
like,
yes.
yeah, start, a feeling of inclusion from a young age, and not instill negative or old time values that are instilled in a lot of people still, whether knowingly or unbeknownstly, unbeknownst to them, So
And
yeah,
also, like, they show unconditional love, and they
yeah,
ask many questions.
exactly, yeah. Like, and
Yes,
they don't feel like at that point they are being themselves, like
yes,
a lot of the time. And like as adults, we try to harsh their creativity, and there's a balance I think to be found there. But um,
and
to be
also
able,
they don't care about others' opinions also at that age.
yeah,
So that,
yeah,
yes,
exactly. Like it's like you got to keep yourself, in that. Like we get older and then we lose ourselves,
yes, yes,
society, or in our marriage, or in, but we have to still realize we're still ourselves and not lose ourselves in any one thing. Because then that thing goes away or that person dies and we're, what are we? We don't know because we were never ourselves and never full or whole by ourselves. So,
and yeah, today morning, like, I saw one quote from Serena Williams. Like, she says that before loving someone else, learn to love yourself.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So, and like, what is your passion?
Um,
So, yeah.
just in general,
Yeah, just in general or in your career thing.
yeah. I mean, overall, like I love to make stuff. Like I'm a huge craft person, so like I'm always making things. And what I'm doing now is like with my message of just be you, love fearlessly, like just getting that out with helping people just in any way really I can. I mean, like, but I mean, the message is my passion, and what I'm trying to do now is connect what I'm good at and the things I like to do, like my crafting things, my making things, I build things, whatever.
Yes,
Um,
puppets, small
yeah,
puppets and craft. Yes.
yeah, all kinds of yeah. So like connecting that with the message and just helping to get that out, like just living my life day to day, like enjoying every day as much as I can and helping someone every day in some way. Yeah, that's it. I mean,
Yeah, and like, what is the hardest part in the whole process of your book?
hardest part. That's a good question because there's many like. Or
Because
I would
like,
say I
right,
would go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, writing and printing the book is like, that's one part, but publishing and taking it to the children, the audience, the correct audience, it's
Right.
the main actual part.
Right. I would say for me the hardest part was printing it and getting it like with the adjustments of the margins and wanting because like I guess what would you call that, the fine-tuned um, marginalizing of the final product, because like I would
Okay.
test print it and it would come back and it'd be slightly off or whatever, like I wouldn't be happy with it. So like that part was a lot of back and forth. I would say that for me was the hardest part, was getting the right everything set up,
Right.
formatted properly, because I had never done it before. So it was a learning curve for me. A lot of
Yes.
reading and watching videos and stuff on how to do all that. So I had taught myself how to use like InDesign and stuff for the book and Illustrator and stuff. So, but
Yeah, who helped you in this process, like in this whole journey?
well, what do you mean, like as far as the like what?
The book.
Well, during the beginning, it was all me. Like I wrote it and then drew it out and stuff, and then I was like, this is going to take me like 5 years to draw all this because I'm not like a professional artist, or anything. So I had the book drawn up, and then I hired an illustrator from the UK named Emily Jade Hercock, and she's really awesome, really nice woman, and awesome illustrator. And I'm trying to find the thing here. I got the book here. But anywho, we collaborated, and I drew out everything out and sent it to her, and then she drew all the characters over like what I had done, and then sent it back to me, and then I did some work on the backgrounds and put everything together. So we collaborated it. But there's
Yes.
her name and my name there on the inside. So yeah, so her and I did everything between the two of us.
Awesome. And and also, do you do any daytime job? What is your
No,
earning?
well, different things. I currently am on disability. Just like honestly, I have been since I think 2012 when it took from 2009 to 2000, I think 11 or 12, dude, to going back and forth to get insurance at 89 pounds. You thought it would have been easy, but it wasn't. Anywho, so I'm trying to get back into something where I can do it with my limitations. Not all disabilities are, visible, you know what I mean? And we all
Yes.
and it's hard. So right now I'm focusing on getting, I'm doing my book thing. I'm doing different projects out, like doing that. I have different events coming up. Tomorrow morning I have another event at Pet
Yes.
So I'm doing all those things right now. Prior, before I got sick with that and stuff, I was doing like plumbing and electric work and things like that, which I don't really do anymore. But I like to build things, fix things, and that kind of nature. So I'll do those side jobs and sell them or whatever. So pretty much crafting, building stuff, and my book is what it is right now.
And also you do editing and also animation. I saw
yeah.
one animation video.
Yeah.
Some yes, some character is playing on your hand.
Yeah. So I mean, so I obviously I do all those things with my computer and stuff. I edit videos, do some filming for some local things around here, and then edit it. So I do all that kind of stuff too. So basically just entrepreneur, trying to eventually get to where I'm self-sustainable and be able to have a good impact on the world, And it's really cool to start to see that stuff coming to fruition because, you start to get messages back like from people that bought the book, with their children, like being like, and stuff. And that's really awesome. And that's where it's like, oh, that's what it's about. You're getting the stuff back, and it's really cool.
Awesome. And what is the one thing you learned from Lily and Evan?
The one thing, if I'd say, follow your passion, not the money.
Awesome.
That would be the best thing that I've learned from them two in that situation and everything that's the main thing and I've always tried to live by that where it's like, it's not about the money, and anyone that's like knows me knows that, it's just, do your thing, do you, and, whatever.
And also do you want to say anything to audience? Like a last message?
Sure. Well, honestly, coming on here, I didn't know, what to expect. I didn't know, what, questions you were going to ask me or anything like that. So I guess this is just me raw, you know what I mean? This is me and you, I just got out of the shower. Just my thoughts, your thoughts. And that's what we got to do. We got to be real. Go ahead.
Yeah. And when I saw your profile, I don't know that you have the this much of story back you. I don't know about your story. I see only your pictures with dogs and your smile.
Yeah.
You make me happy. And
that's awesome.
Sometimes I see your comments on Evan Carmichael videos. So I found I feel that I know this guy.
Isn't that weird how that can happen? It's it's really cool how that works. So it's you watch someone or you're interacting with them, then you really can develop a relationship without even talking to them yet. It's really bizarre, but it's very cool. Very cool. But I guess yeah, like what I was getting to is just that if you're just yourself, you never have to remember anything. You know, like you never have to worry about it or putting on a show or whatever. You know, just be you, and you know, life kind of works out because you start to gravitate people that are like you to you when you're just yourself. You no longer have to be fake around people that don't love you for you or you know whatever. So that's the biggest thing is just you know be you and don't worry about it.
Awesome. Like, what are your next projects coming, like upcoming?
Well, tomorrow I'm doing a book reading, so I'll be doing my reading here. And we're going to be making wiener dog puppets with the kids and
Puppets,
everything.
yes.
Yep, which is going to be awesome. And then I have a couple events next month also at the studio up here. We're going to be making some little painting Christmas tree things that I make out of wood. So I'm making some Christmas wooden trees. And then I also have another event up here for the Toyland thing. It's going to be a holiday thing. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to be making little wiener dogs on wheels. So that's going to be cute
Awesome.
out of wood. Yeah, so
Yeah.
got plenty to do. But yes, making projects and stuff. It's like if I'm not creating, like I'm not like, I don't know, my mind just, it goes so fast that like I got to be like doing something. I have so many ideas. Like, I don't know. I need, like, that's another thing. I'd love to eventually have like multiple people I'm working with more where I can be like, hey, I got this idea. It'd be perfect for you because I don't have time to do it. You know what I mean? Like, or like where they're helping because I have too many ideas for one person to do. And so, yeah, I just have to keep busy or my mind just like, so.
Yes.
But you got to find that little part in the day to do a little meditation or you'll go insane.
And the last thing, like where people can find you and how people can contact you.
Yes, people can contact me different ways, but on Instagram, I'm at Skyler and Friends. On YouTube, I'm at Skyler and Friends. It's Skyler with an ER, not an AR. A lot of people do the AR, but anywho, wienerdogbook.com or at wienerdog, wienerdog@gmail.com is my email address. So pretty much Paul Cross with Skyler and Friends. I'm on all the social media platforms, so. Yeah.
Awesome. Like I'm going to put this video on YouTube, so I'm going to edit and put yes. So I'll mention all your social media stuff in the description.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. It's like you're very inspiring. Keep doing what you are doing. Just keep doing.
You too. You definitely keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate you bringing me on and everything. It's been good.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. You have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So much love to your temperance.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And your dogs, other two dogs also.
Yep. They said bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, Tracy.
Yes.
Yeah, I just see it.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, I love Tracy.
Yes, I love her. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you so much, guys. It's like lovely chat with Paul. Thank you each and everyone for joining me. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Happy weekend. Bye, Tracy.